Hey guys, what's up? Hope everybody's having a good day out there today. Thanks for tuning back in, much appreciated. And just got off the water. Had an on the water lesson today at Bull Shoals Lake, and heading back to get Elijah at daycare right now. I wanted to take a few minutes to do today's video. And tomorrow, actually, I'll put up. I filmed part of today on Bull Shoals today. I'll put that video up probably tomorrow morning. Let you guys check it out. Got a lot of good footage on there, some good information for you guys. So check that out tomorrow morning. So anyway, today what I want to do on the trip back home here is I wanted to talk about a subject here. I've been thinking a little bit ever since I did a tour of the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame there in Springfield on my YouTube video a couple days ago. And I remember seeing Penny Berryman up there. And, I knew Penny before she died, when she was a professional angler on the Bass and Gal circuit. And it got me thinking about the topic, why hasn't a female angler ever excelled on the tour level in professional fishing? Never won a tournament, never, had any type of marquee presence or a classic qualification, although Pam Martin Wells did qualify for the classic, I believe, through one of the women's circuits, but not through fishing the normal channels. But why is that? And that's sort of what I want to talk about today, maybe get your guys' opinion on that as well. So first of all, I'm just going to come out and say is I have nothing against women fishing professionally. I think it's awesome. I have a lot of respect for women that fish professionally. I know how difficult it is, everything about it, how difficult it is. So I have no bias or prejudice or anything against that. I fully encourage any female anglers to fish anything and everything that they can possibly fish. I mean, I have a lot of respect for the ones that do out there. That given said, it's like, why hasn't anybody emerged out of all the decades that we've had female professional anglers on the women's circuit? Why hasn't anybody emerged as a dominant figure as a female angler in the sport? Now, back the heydays, in my opinion, for the female circuit was back in the late 70s and 80s. That's when like the Bass and Gals was doing really good, and you had anglers like Linda England, Freda Lee, Chris Houston, like Penny Berryman, Pam Martin Wells, a lot of these really famous female anglers. They made a name for themselves on the women's circuit within the industry too. I mean, they secured good sponsorships and that type of stuff, but none of them had really made a jump into the and I don't want to call them the men's circuit, because the Bassmaster tour level events and the FLWs and all that type of stuff, we've always had female anglers competing like on the open side and even on the FLW tour, but not on the marquee level, the Bassmaster Elite Series, top 150s, top 100s, that type of stuff. And I got thinking about that, and I don't really understand why there hasn't been one female angler emerge that has really been a dominating force that can actually, make classics every year and win tournaments. And I got thinking about reasons why that is, and there's a couple different reasons, I think. First of all, it doesn't have anything to do with their ability. I mean, as far as the mechanics of fishing, locating fish, boat operation, all that type of stuff, there's no advantage that a female angler, there's no advantage that a male angler has over a female angler. I mean, you've got professional women race car drivers, you've got women that are physically super strong. My wife Kim can squat almost 500 pounds. There's probably not a person watching this YouTube video, and she can bench press over 200 pounds. There's probably not anybody watching this YouTube video that can do that. So they don't have the physical limitations or the any type of personality limitations to keep them from it. So what is it? I mean, in fact, they probably have more sensitivity in their hands to detect strikes better. In my opinion, it has a lot to do with a combination of factors that I think is generated by our society that we live in. I mean, when you're talking about being a professional bass angler, you're talking about having it's first of all, it's extremely difficult. I mean, there's a lot of stress. It's extremely difficult. But when you're talking about being a touring professional, like I've been for over 30 years, you're talking about traveling cross country in strange cities, strange environments, sketchy places. You don't really know what you're going to get into when you get into some of those places. Potentially dangerous situations. Even more so if you're a female. That's just the way our society is. I mean, and I think a lot of the reason that we haven't seen more women attempt this, that's probably one of the big reasons right there. Is logistically, these tournaments are very difficult to get to for a lot of different reasons. On top of that, I don't think the female fishing community has a big support system, within the gender, because look how many guys bass fish. I mean, that's just sort of what you do when you're little. I mean, that's a tendency. It's sort of a male-oriented type of a sport. And for a woman or a young girl or whatever to get interested in fishing, they don't have a lot of people probably to back them up with that. It's not like all their girlfriends want to go out and fish for the weekend. I mean, the most women that I know that fish, it's like their dads are the one that introduced them to them. But it's not like all their girlfriends say, hey, let's go down to the lake this weekend and see if we can catch some bass. That just doesn't happen. So I think the second thing along with that, other than like the logistic part of it, is they, as female anglers, simply do not have the network of support system of people around them in their own gender to support that interest in there. And it takes a lot for a lot of the anglers, a lot of the female anglers we've seen emerge that have fished the opens and fished, some of the other AAA type circuits. They, like I said, they don't have many people out there they can talk to or relate to. Just a handful of women are out there. So I think that creates a natural inclination not to be interested in being that sport if there's not a lot of people out there that you can really bond with or form some type of a network with. It's a lot easier for men to do that. And when you have those two challenges against you, it's simply the pool of the number of female anglers out there that could potentially become marquee anglers becomes extremely low, because right now there's just a couple women that even fish the Opens or the Toyota Series, or none of them fish the FLW. I mean the MLF events that I'm aware of. I know none of them fish the Bass Pro Shop Tour or the Tackle Warehouse Tour. And back when I fished the top 100s and top 150s with bass, we didn't have any female anglers there. There's none on the Elite Series. So that from that standpoint, they just haven't been able to make that jump necessary. And I think it's coming, though. I think that there is going to be a female angler out there that has everything click throughout from the time that they're young. They may have a group of friends or something that really supports them with that, and everything falls in place for them to really excel and reach their full potential as an angler out there. We just haven't seen that yet. And I talked to several of them. I've had conversations with Linda England and Freda Lee, with Penny Berryman about making that jump. This was back in the 80s, about making that jump. And they just didn't really have a lot of interest in doing that. They like to stay within, the Bass and Gal circuit. They were comfortable with that. There was a community that they could, bond with there, which they didn't have on the men's circuit with that. So, from that standpoint, I still think that we're a long way from seeing the time when we have a female angler that likes, qualifies for the elite, makes the classic on regular events, wins tournaments, that type of stuff. Because it's very difficult for a male angler to do that. And as many and it's 99% male anglers, and it's very difficult for men anglers to win tournaments and qualify consistently for championships. As many men as out there, let alone just the very small percentage of women that are out there. So my take on it, guys, is the fact that like I said, I just think a lot of it has to do with, society has created a situation around bass fishing that is just not real friendly to female anglers wanting to get into the sport, and I think that's a bad deal. I really do. I mean, I just wish that it was a little bit more open, a little bit more receptive, but I don't know, maybe that's just the nature of the sport we have. I think that until you can do something simply about having to travel all across the countries and staying in strange hotels, being out daylight till dark, showing up at boat ramps at 4:30 in the morning, until we can, somebody emerges that doesn't mind doing that. I'm not sure exactly when we're going to see a female angler really reach the top level. I do think it's coming. I mean, I think it's just a matter of time before we see that, but it just hasn't happened yet. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. I think it's an interesting topic to be discussed. We've heard people talk about it before. I think it needs to be discussed even more, and I'd be curious to hear what everybody else thinks about it as well. But anyway, just a few thoughts today on the way back to get Elijah. Hope you guys are doing good. If you guys haven't had a chance yet, please hit that subscribe button, the like button if you like the video, and we'll see y'all later.